Hi everyone, today I'm here with Jason from SolarEdge. We're going to be looking at the commercial storage solution, the CSS-OD. So, Jason, thanks very much for joining us. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about the CSS-OD?
Of course, thank you for having me. So the CSS-OD is the SolarEdge commercial storage system. It's a versatile and powerful energy storage system. It works with our PV system. It has G100 with the one controller. We have G99 Type A certificates. It's scalable. We can do time of use with it. We can do MSC with it. It's indoor and outdoor. It's an AC coupled system, 102 kilowatt hours with 50 kilowatt inverter. It's very very versatile.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is a tethered system, so it needs to work alongside SolarEdge PV installation. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and any considerations the installer would need to do beforehand, before installing?
Of course. So one of the first things is a site survey. You've got to find a suitable location to put the CSS-OD. Somewhere that's elevated. We want it at least 30 centimeters from the floor, just to avoid any flooding. I said it can go indoors and outdoors, so 2 kilometers away from the sea outdoors and 1 kilometer away from the sea indoors. You've got to have a suitable supply, so you would need roughly about 72 amps for the 3-phase inverter on the CSS-OD, and also a 20 amp supply for the heating and ventilation with it. One of the most important things is you've got to have Ethernet communication with the CSS-OD. So from the CSS-OD we go to the SolarEdge One controller, and this really is the brains of the operation. That links the existing SolarEdge PV system. You change the position of the meter communication from the leading inverter to the One controller, and basically the One controller controls the whole site. Right. So site survey is really important. Find a suitable location, and the designer, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the questions we're getting quite a lot is what's the most suitable use cases for the system? Can you tell us a little bit more about the applications?
Of course. So you've got the maximum self-consumption is standard. We have time of use. These are supported. The next thing would be peak shaving, which is to use the battery at peak energy usages. You've then got a specific aggregation. You've got time of use, more dynamic time of use. These are the things that are coming. So these are all supported and will be supported very, very soon.
So some of these features are ready to go right now, and then some are coming into the future.
Yeah.
Which parts are ready right now and which ones are?
Time of use, maximum self-consumption. Peak shaving will be here with us very soon. Dynamic time of use will be a few months away, maybe a lot quicker. We're moving very quickly on these things. And aggregation probably be the last one.
Right, okay. Yeah, going to be some really popular features, I think, yeah. With those in mind, is there going to be any additional hardware that's going to be needed to make use of those features, or is it as it comes right now?
It's a good question. The PV system generally will be a setup system, so that's been around for a few years. That's what we need to work with the One controller, to communicate with the One controller. The actual CSS-OD doesn't require any more hardware. The One controller will be the brains, will be doing all the telling when to start, when to stop, diverting, excess and import G100 stuff. So the only hardware that you will need would be if you want to increase your power capacity or your storage capacity by adding more CSS-ODs. You can have 10 per site, and you would basically have 5 of those would have an inverter with the battery cabinet, and 5 without.
So there's great scope for scale on there as well in terms of overall capacity on the site. And that probably brings me to the design aspect of it, really. So one of the questions we get frequently is from installers who are breaking into the commercial storage side of things, really. Now, SolarEdge are known for their high quality software and their design tools. Could you walk us through how the CSS-OD kind of slots into that, what software there is to help them design, and if there's any additional kind of help from SolarEdge on these?
Of course, yes. So the main one is the SolarEdge Designer. Now this has been around for a few years, and I think it's one of the best tools we've ever done. The beauty of the Designer and adding other products to it is that if you have a site, a PV site, you may already be the installer, you will have a design. So you can then add the CSS-OD to that design. Right. If you're not the original installer, what you can do is from the monitoring, you can capture the site ID or the name of the site. You can then go into Designer, and one of the tabs under Create is actually re-engineer. So you can re-engineer from the monitoring. So if you haven't got the design for that original site, rather than you creating it again, you can re-engineer from the monitoring. This saves you an awful lot of time.
Absolutely, yeah.
The one thing that's really important for us is the Designer allows you to do a 50 kilowatt AC coupled inverter with 102 kilowatt hours. Now, there's loads of products out there that don't have Designer. Right. So we have this Ask-to-Use sort of application, where if you're interested in designing with the CSS-OD, you can email me, and I'm sure we'll have the details at the end of this. You can email me, and I will allow you access to it, give you some training should you need, but we don't really want to open it for everybody, because we're not concerned that people are going to use our Designer for other things, but it's for SolarEdge products.
Brilliant. Okay. Now, for those who are breaking into the commercial storage side of things, there's quite a few differences, I suppose, with jumping up in terms of scale. Now, obviously, if they're coming from a residential background, the size of the batteries, obviously, they're quite a bit smaller. What considerations would they need for installing these bigger cabinet batteries?
Okay, so the concept's nearly exactly the same. You would, with a Designer, you would put your consumption in the same as you do with a residential one. You already have your design for the PV, and you just select the battery. So the actual design side of it is very straightforward. Going back to one of the first questions, we said about a site survey. What you've got to remember is the CSS-OD is just over, I think it's 1,501 kilograms. So you've got to make sure you have a good route. So we recommend using a forklift truck. So wherever you get the unit delivered, from there we recommend a good route, safe route to the place where you're going to have the CSS-OD. We already mentioned before about having a three-phase supply and a single-phase supply and good communication. The other thing is a plinth. We ask you to lift it 30 centimeters from the floor, so you can have a concrete plinth for that, or you can, we give you all the dimensions to build a steel plinth. So once you've done that, the rest of it is pretty straightforward. The actual AC connections are no different. So you shouldn't have any problem with the HV connection for the air conditioning, HVAC connection rather, and also for the storage. I don't see it's not a difficult product to install. I've installed quite a few of them. We do support you on site as well, so you really have no problem other than finding a suitable location, making sure that you have the right distances around the CSS-OD to the front, the back, and what have you. You've got to allow a decent room for the door to open, obviously, and some people
absolutely. So other than the physical elements of it, it's pretty similar to other types of storage as well. Then, absolutely. So, right, okay. So once that's all out the way, we've got it all installed. Now, a really important point for the end user would be the warranty side of things. Now, with obviously such a big investment, they want to make sure that the warranty is pretty robust. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Is it the same warranty as the rest of the range, or?
Yes, it's similar. We have a 10-year warranty with 6,000 cycles and a 5-year parts warranty that covers locks, heating and ventilation, that sort of stuff.
Right, okay, brilliant. Fantastic. Well, there you have it, the CSS-OD. It's available now at CCL Components. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Jason. That was a great overview of the CSS-OD. And for anyone who has any more questions or is looking for a quote on the CSS-OD, please contact our sales team. They'll be happy to help you. If you'd like to watch any of our future videos, please subscribe. And thanks very much. We'll see you on the next one.